To create an attractive thumbnail, you have to understand two things: design and logic. These two things are connected with one another. But how? We will understand this while making the thumbnail. So first of all, let's go to the Photoshop. In the Photoshop, I will take a canvas that is 1920 by 1080 in size. So in this video, I will create a thumbnail about how to create an attractive thumbnail. So I will use all those 5 pictures to create the thumbnails. First of all, I will use this background which is not relevant to my video. I am using this image in the thumbnail because I won't prioritize this picture. It will be used for creating the environment. But if you wanna show your background image, you must choose image that is relevant to your video. Now I have to drag the image into the canvas. I am naming the layer as background image. Now after that, I'm gonna extract this picture into the canvas. And I'm naming the layer as this man. It would be better if you can use your picture. This is for the tutorial only. Now I'm gonna flip this picture horizontally because I wanna keep the text in the right side. So select the image, go to edit, transform and flip horizontal. Now I have to resize the picture. So to resize this image, press Ctrl+T. Then press Shift Alt and drag this little square so you can resize it according to your need. And now I will place this image here. Now we will add the text in the right side. So let's create a new layer. Type the text. I'm using Cooper Black font and I'm writing it in the uppercase. Select this move tool and by pressing Alt, drag the text so it will create a new layer. Now edit the text and again select the move tool and drag the text so it will create another layer and edit the text again. Now I am keeping the text aside. So now according to his finger direction, we will add a reference thumbnail. Because we are making thumbnail about how to create thumbnails, so we will add an existing thumbnail under this text. So I am adding one of my video thumbnail. So I am dragging this thumbnail into the canvas. I'm naming the layer as the reference thumbnail. So I've already dragged all the important elements in the canvas. I know it's looking boring now, but whatever you are watching on the screen, it's called logic. Because I have added all the elements that is relevant to the video. And now we have to design the thumbnail to make it attractive. First of all, as I said before, I won't prioritize this background, so I have to make it fade first. So to make it fade, go to the layer panel, select the image, then filter, blur and motion blur. I will keep the distance as 24, then click OK. Now it's looking quite beautiful. Go to the adjustment layer, select exposure and reduce the exposure to -76%. Now it's looking more fade. I will add another layer over this picture. So create a new layer and name it as background overlay. From the rectangle section, select the rectangle and from the color section, select the sea green color. Now drag the rectangle to the whole canvas. Change the blend mode to color. While designing the thumbnail, I have to keep in mind that these 3 things are the main elements of my thumbnails. So whatever color I choose, I have to make sure these three things must pop up. And now I have to design the text. So first of all, I have to resize the text. As the first text is not that important, I will keep it smaller than the other two lines. I'm keeping the font size as 20. Now select the text layer, right click, blend option, and then gradient overlay. I will use yellow and white gradient. Then I will use the black stroke. Then drop shadow to look the text bold. I will keep the opacity of the shadow full. Now I will use outer glow to make it more visible. We can also add texture to make the text more attractive. Just change the scale and depth. Don't make it too hard, just keep it normal. So this is the before and after of the text. See how much it has just popped up after the design. Now I will do the same thing for the other text also. I'm keeping the font size for the second line 32 and I'm using green and white gradient for this line. And I'm doing the same thing for the third line also. So this is the before and after of the text. You can see the difference clearly. And now I would like to make the word attractive more visible to the audience because it seems very engaging word to get high CTR rate. So I will use a rounded rectangle behind the text to show the importance of the word. So create a new layer under this text and name it as rounded rectangle. Select this rounded rectangle, then select red color from the color section. Then draw the rectangle and press Ctrl T to adjust this according to the text. Then right click to the layer, blend option, stroke. I'm keeping the stroke to 3. We can add some textures also in this rectangle, so it looks very much visible to the audience. So this is the before and after of the text. And now I have to place this reference thumbnail properly. So first I will create a layer under this reference thumbnail layer and name it as yellow rectangle. So while selecting this layer, click this rounded rectangle button and draw the rectangle in the canvas. Now I am disabling this layer to show the shape properly. And now I wanna change the shape a little bit, so click Ctrl T and you will get the squares which you can move right now. So now click Ctrl and click on the squares to change the shape. Now I will move all the points to change the shape. So the shape looked like this at the end. Now I have to place the image in this shape. To do this, first of all, click Alt Shift Ctrl together, then you can see an arrow sign. Now if you click that reference thumbnail, it will be converted into that shape. Now select the reference thumbnail layer, press Ctrl T and press Shift Alt together and increase the size. Now the picture is totally fit with the shape. I think it's looking great in that position. Now we have to group the two layers. Select the two layers by clicking Ctrl. Now click Ctrl G to group the layers. Now we have to drag the layer under this main layer. Now it's looking like the man is showing the thumbnails. I wanna add some outer glow to make the thumbnail glowing. So right click on the layer, blending options, outer glow. Select the yellow color. I'm keeping this adjustment. Now click OK. I think it's looking perfect. See, now if the glow is coming from the thumbnail, there should be some glow in his coat also. So to glow the edges of his coat, I will create a new layer over this main layer and naming it as glow. Then I will select the same color that is glowing from the thumbnails. So select the rectangle, then select yellow color from the color section. Now drag the rectangle all over the canvas. Change the blend mode to overlay. Create a vector mask, then Ctrl I to invert the mask. Now select the brush tool and hover it on the edges of his coat. You can keep the flow as your need. So that's it. I think it's looking like that some glow is coming from the thumbnail. Now I wanna add some YouTube logo under this thumbnail. So I will drag this YouTube logo under this thumbnail. Then I have to resize those pictures by pressing Ctrl T. I'm rotating it a little bit. I think the position is perfect. Now click the image layer, then go to filter, blur and motion blur. Click OK. Now I am doing the same thing for the other logo also. That's it. So to make the thumbnail more attractive, we can use a special brush tool. So to use the brush tool, I will create a layer under this reference thumbnail layer and I will name it as a special brush. So select the brush tool, right click and scroll down to the bottom and you will see this special brush. Click this brush. Now select the color of the brush as yellow from the color section. Now draw the edges of the thumbnail. So I think that's perfect. See, now it's looking like a race is coming from the thumbnail. So as you can see, already we popped up the text and the thumbnails. It's looking very beautiful. Now to pop up this man, we will add blue color behind him. So create a new layer under this image layer and name it as blue. Select blue color from the color section. So select the brush and keep the flow as 100%. And with the soft brush tool, click 3 times behind him. Now change the blend mode to heart light. Create another layer over this blue layer and name it as white. I wanna add some white light also. So take the brush tool, select white color from the color section and click 2 times behind him. Now it's looking perfect. Now all the elements are visible beautifully. But we can see there are some empty spaces. So we wanna add some Photoshop and YouTube logo there. So we will drag some Photoshop and YouTube logo. So first of all, we have to resize the image. So I will place the Photoshop logo in the corner of the thumbnail and the YouTube logo behind the person. Now click the image, filter, blur and motion blur. And follow the same steps for the YouTube logo also. Now see, it doesn't looking much empty spaces right now. The thumbnail is quite ready, but to make it more colorful, I wanna add some white glow under this layer so that the text looks more visible. So first of all, create a new layer under this text layer and name it as white glow. So select white color from the color sections. With the soft brush tool, click one time in the corner of the thumbnail. Now in the bottom of the thumbnail, we can add some yellow effect to match with the environment. So create a new layer over this logo layer and name it as yellow effect. Select yellow color from the color section and change the blend mode to overlay. Now click all over the edges of the thumbnail to match with the environment. Great, I think it's looking more attractive. So to make this man more visible, we can select this man layer, copy this layer, then go to the image adjustment and select shadow and highlights. So I am increasing the shadows and highlights so that the man looks pop up. Click OK. So this is the before and after of this layer. So you can see clearly after adding this effect, it's looking very much attractive. And now we will add the final effect. So click on the upper layer, then go to the adjustment layer, select brightness and contrast. Increase the brightness a little bit. Now go to the layer and click vector mask. Select black color from the color section. Now hover over the place where I don't want the brightness. After that, again go to the adjustment, select hue and saturation. Increase the saturation a little bit to make it more colorful. Create a vector mask. Select the black color and hover where you don't want any kinds of saturation. Now again go to the adjustment, select curves, create vector mask, select the black color and hover over the face to remove the brightness. Now we can increase this man size to make it more visible. But I'm not satisfied yet. I think we need to add some more yellow effects under this thumbnail. So select the yellow color from the color section and click all over the thumbnails to make it more yellow to match with the environment. And now the thumbnail looks very much complete. So I hope you liked the video. So before ending this video, I just want to remember one thing, that you have to remember two things, that is called logic and design. This is the logic where you need to add relevant image, and this is the design. So remember one thing, that design will attract the audience But the combination of the logic and design force the audience to click in your video. So I hope you've understood the process very well. We will see you in the next tutorial.